would let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Say hello. We would love that. Today, I will tell you where I am. I am inside a U-Haul truck. Yes, I am. We're in the middle of a makeover for a military family, and we've got things everywhere. But isn't that just the life of an entrepreneur, of what we do?
Absolutely. Make it happen.
Make it happen. Make it work. Well, guys, we're going to be learning from Amber today, and we put all of her information in the description. We're also going to give her an opportunity to share about her, but we're going to be learning some things about floral design, which I will say is not my strong suit. I can get it done. It's not always pretty, but you know, we get it done. But Amber, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. I joined this military family 14 years ago, and my husband's been in a little bit longer. We are an Air Force family. We were active duty, and then we made the switch to the reserves because the airframe was disappearing. Now let me back up. I actually went to school for floral design. I am an event planner, worked at the Biltmore Estate.
I love it.
I mean, the gardens themselves, I could just stay all day.
Yes.
And then I followed up in Charleson, South Carolina, where I was designing and creating high-end floral design for weddings and events on the peninsula. Mm-hmm. Talk about dream job. Oh my gosh. And of course, being right out of college, I came from a wonderful, strong family, but we were not like, you know, the top 1%ers or anything like that. So all this money coming in and this hospitality at its finest really spoke to my heart. And that, I think, is why I actually created the blog Inspiring Time,
which I'm going to put up right now. Make sure everybody can see it. Go ahead.
And that kind of branched out into doing a podcast, which was terrifying. I knew nothing. And poor Maria, she's like, okay, come on, Amber, you've got to like get it together, get this tech thing going. So to pull the trigger on a podcast was kind of scary.
Oh, wow.
But I did it, and it's going great. And now I have my very first book in the works. So I am so excited.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. We got to learn more about that. What's the title of your book?
Okay. Well, we're still in all the phases of that, but I'm going to call it Bloom Big.
Bloom Big. I love it. I love it. Talking about blooms, you've got some in your hand. What are we going to be making? So now you're big again.
Really today, I think hospitality and flowers, that's my passion. I love sharing that with other military spouses, with friends when we go to new communities. It is what I feel like I'm meant to do in this world.
Oh.
So today we're gonna do two simple things, and I kind of threw this in because just at the last minute, it's going to take 2 seconds to see, and you're going to see how exciting this can be when you put it on like a buffet or a brunch. So super simple, less than a minute, and here we go. Okay, maybe 2 minutes.
Okay.
So we have tulips, and these were purchased. I intentionally purchased them several days ago because I know when we're thinking about getting together an event, it's important that we do the steps to get ready, right? So these are something you can buy ahead of time. Now, what am I doing? I'm talking to the flower. I'm actually kind of warming up the stem. So when you go to stick it in a reverse proportioned container, you're going to have this nice bend. Otherwise, you're going to snap it. So make sure that you take your thumb and you kind of just do this gently. So you've warmed it up and you're ready to put it in this reverse proportioned container.
Okay, you gotta tell me, what does reverse proportion container mean?
Okay, so most of the time, you're gonna see flowers coming out the top, right? So this is a proportion we are used to, kind of a 3-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
When you put it inside of a container, it makes it more artsy. And that's why it's the reverse. That's why it's called reverse. It's just because it's going inside instead of coming out.
Coming out. Okay. And you're doing the same thing. You're just warming up that stem.
Yes. Same thing. So now we're just going, and seriously, this is like 3 blooms, okay? And I just cut these out of the yard. These are just garden roses from the yard.
Pretty.
I'm going to give you a tip about those too. Every time you move, how sad are we to leave our yard that we've like put together, slaved over, cried over, right? There are a few things that you can plant in your yard every time you move or in a container, but do it right when you get there, right? That's the trick right there, is to plant it so you can utilize it for the 2 years that you're somewhere, right?
Right there somewhere.
Okay, so
exactly.
Now these buds are super great to tuck down in here too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this up because it's done. Right here.
What?
It's done. It's done. You know what? I don't like those blooms. So you know what you do? You take them out. And I don't really like the red flower. So you know what? You take it out. It's yours. But look at this. How pretty.
That is so beautiful.
Just put 3 stems carefully manipulated inside the container and you're done. I love this. And you're going to look super savvy when people come to your event.
And then you can say reverse.
It's a reverse proportion floral design that I created for you, right?
I love that. That's really nice. Great tip, simple and easy to do. Ooh.
Simple. So everybody this is really what I wanted to show us today. Everybody probably has some sort of dough bowl container, right? That's what's trending. We're on topic with that right now.
Right.
Let me clear a little bit of this out of the way so you make sure you can see.
So we just want to say hi to a couple of folks that are watching. We have Paulette and Chelsea and Lydia who have commented. There are more folks, but they've commented and said hello. So hi, ladies. We just want to recognize that you've been on. So thanks.
Yes, thank you for jumping on. I would love to hear if these are helpful tips that I'm giving you or things that you've heard before, because it's always helpful. Every Wednesday I do a wind down Wednesday on Inspiring Time, the Facebook page, where I do exactly this. Every weekday, every Wednesday, I jump on and give unique tips.
Is it a specific time on Wednesday?
6:30 Central, and I know that's hard, but y'all, I go to bed at like 8:30. So
I feel you. I feel you. Amber also is watching. She's here in Texas, and she says that your tips are very helpful. So thanks, Amber. Joyce is also watching. Joyce is over at Quantico. Hey, thanks for watching, Joyce.
Yes. Oh my goodness. We have lots of great listeners today.
Yeah.
So what we have here, so here's your traditional dough bowl used to actually knead bread. So if any of y'all need bread, you're supposed to roll it down. And I do, but I use my mixer.
Right, yeah.
Roll it down the side of the bowl. So these come in all different sizes and shapes, but I really wanted to focus on the white because, again, we're on topic with what's trending right now.
Right.
Most of these are not water resistant, okay? So you're going to want to line it with something. Everybody has foil or saran wrap. So you're going to, cut off a small piece, put it in here. I'm using a wet brick of foam. This is about half of a brick. Now, no, there's dry foam and wet foam. It's wet foam. We have live flowers, so wet foam.
Wet foam. I also want to say Brandy's watching, and she says greetings from Germany. So thanks, Brandy. We do appreciate that.
Yes. So what we're going to do is put this on one side of our container, okay? And you're going to crinkle in the sides, continuing to keep this in a kind of a boat fashion, because the point is to keep the water in.
Right.
This is not something you're going to continue watering. So just know that this is just to make sure you don't have a big mess on your table and destroy your container.
Okay.
Now, these tulips came from a grocery store, and I couldn't tell you where now, but they were super fresh. Fresh tulips are not easy to work with. So if you can't really bend them and manipulate them, give them another day or two. They're going to be around.
Okay.
There's a good tip with tulips. Now there again, here we go. We're going to slightly manipulate. And what we're going to do is have yellow tulips on this side, followed by ferns on this side. This is a simple way to make sure you always have something living on the table or your centerpiece. So you can pop this out and add more plants, or you can pop out the fern side and add more fresh flowers, whatever you're needing. So you always have something. And I feel like that's so important, is to have living things in your house.
So I'm seeing that you did something that we do in design. You are sort of doing one side and then mimicking it on the other side of what you're creating.
Yes.
Love that.
So you're going to want to make sure, y'all, using a knife sometimes scares people, but it's so much easier to control the shape of the end of your stem. So I highly recommend just a little utility knife, cut at an angle. And we're just going for basic right here. This is not high-end design. This is not super scary. Buy yourself a bunch of tulips and just get started. It's fun playing.
Oh, I love that.
So it looks very much like it's growing, and that's kind of my design style, is whimsy, growing right from the garden.
I love that. I love it when it looks organic.
Yes. Now, here are some tulips. They're going out. But again, I wanted to prove the point that just because they're a few days old doesn't mean you can't use them for that day. You're going to tuck these guys kind of in a little bit lower, and see there again, I broke a stem. That's fine. Just give it another fresh cut and tuck it in a little bit deeper.
Oh, good. I love that.
All right. So continue just finding a spot and inserting. That's all we're doing. Finding a spot and working your way around, just like you were saying. Kind of if you do it on this side.
A little bit on that side.
Yeah.
And just, guys, if you got any questions for Amber, please put them in the comments. Even if it's a question that we can't answer right now, it's something that we can come back to and answer. So I just wanted to put that out there as we continue. Oh, it's so beautiful already.
It's very simple. It's not, you know, a lot of times people go, well, I don't really do fresh flowers, or you'll get that big bunch and you'll pop it right down into a vase, right? Yeah. And that's fine. That made a beautiful statement on your counter, but this way, you know, a little bit more, and you can feel like you can create a little bit more unique things. Okay, this color combination will be very snappy. And traditionally with spring, you're going to see not so much red, but if you're tucking them in low, they'll almost look like Easter eggs. And I know that holiday is now past us, but if you tuck in really low, then it adds depth, and it's not really so much a showpiece as it is what's in there, you know. Right. So that's kind of fun.
And the fact that this is from your garden, I'm jealous as all get out. Just want you to know that. It's so awesome.
Well, I actually didn't plant these, and of course we're up to move again very soon. So I was totally bummed. I've got all my zinnias ready to go into the ground, and you know, we'll be going. That's how it goes. So.
Isn't that it? Isn't that the truth? It's just how it works.
That's how it goes. Okay, so on this side, here we go. We're just tucking in really low, and we're going to keep it on this side. Cluster. Keep that word in mind as you design. You just want things to be together until you get super familiar with how you design and what you want. Okay. Again, moss actually came out of our yard. Actually, it's an infestation in our yard right now, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Everywhere. And I'm just covering up the mechanics. So the foam itself, I'm just kind of filling in because we want it to stay loose and airy.
I just learned that word from my daughter, who I told you earlier is in floral design. She said, Mom, you got to cover the mechanics. And I went, oh, fancy. Okay, now I know. But yes, you as a professional, exactly. Cover the mechanics so we don't see the under part.
That's right. That's never, you know, even if you're doing, I'm sure staging, it's super important to be on point. You only get the one shot to make it perfect. And perfect is different for everybody.
Yep.
So this right here is another super cute way to cover a spring-inspired pot. This little fern, him and I have been hanging out now for about 3 moves. He keeps on hanging on. But what you can do is you take a square piece of craft wrapping paper, right? Most of us, or a brown bag, y'all. Go get a brown bag.
Easy.
And cut out a square and then fold up the sides. And when you do this, look how pretty it just
that's beautiful.
really pops. And I already had these made up. This is a little button fern, and if you don't have those for a terrarium, they're really pretty and they keep on giving. So we're going to turn these two that way, and then we're going to cover up this pot with more. And let me move this so you can kind of see what we have going on. Again, this is not about high design. This is about simplicity.
I love this.
And making it your own, right? Like it doesn't have to. And then some of the moss.
Oh, I love it. Guys, if you would, and Brandy says she loves the added moss. That's awesome. Guys, leave her some comments. We want to know what your thoughts are about this arrangement. Share with us an arrangement maybe that you've done for the holidays or that you plan to do now coming into summer. It's still spring here where we are, which is beautiful. Oh, so pretty. So
now, if you wanted to pop this out and just fill in with ferns, I found that ferns usually run $4 to $6 depending on where you are, the little 4-inch pots, and you would just fill this in. You could add those sweet little miniature figurines or an orchid to give you some height, and you're done. And this was, I think, such a great part to your decor, like something you can customize and tweak and not feel panicked about it.
Oh, no, that to me is just like, that is something that seems very doable, that it doesn't seem like it's going to cost a lot. I can get most of my items at the grocery store. I can make it easy. And I think it really just has an elevated look to it. It doesn't look like it was just something, inexpensive. It looks very elevated, which I love. Lori says, love. What about care and how long do your arrangements last?
Okay. If this were, so to me, this is more of like a buffet piece or a statement piece if you have people coming over. And again, remember, I'm from the event world, so I actually don't leave my flowers in foam. Something you could do also, now see, I love that we can pop this out real quick. And I'm going to show you something else we can do because I think, don't we have another minute that I can
do? We've got time.
Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. So to answer your question, if it's in foam, then you're going to probably lose it in 3 days, I would say, with tulips at most. If you keep it in water, though, you're going to keep it for much longer. Okay, what did I do here? Everybody has a stemless wine glass. I know you do, or 4, and one's in your bathroom. And then you have just a regular glass pastry or pie dish. So elevate your flowers right here. And this is all we're going to do. Now I'm going to pull these out real quick.
Same arrangement. Same flowers from that arrangement.
If we're gonna take this to a different look, then we're just gonna pull these out. I'm gonna leave the roses out. We're not gonna use them. Let me set this out of the way. All right, fresh, clean cut, right? You want that. And I'm just trimming a little because when you're in a container that's shorter like this, you don't want it constantly tipping over because your flowers are too heavy and your proportion is off. You don't want your proportion off.
Yep.
So this is a super cute way. You don't have to go buy new containers. We're just cutting the stems. Again, what you do on one side, since my heavier bulk of fern is on this side, I want this to reach towards the opposite direction.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I actually kind of like the base look, but since most people, I get a lot of questions about foam, I wanted to address that because it takes a little bit more practice, I feel like, with foam because you get one shot at making sure that placement is correct. but here we go. Still really fun.
I love it.
And there you go. I mean,
that is so pretty. I love both ways. Obviously, too, you could put some things around the bottom of it. You could probably put even a little bit of moss there, but just some other elements if you're trying to tie into a holiday. But, oh, yeah. That is gorgeous.
And there you go.
I love it. I was trying to read. Vera says, I love the floral arrangement. Looks like something you would have come across in a garden. Yes. See, it just kind of little pieces. Oh, it's lovely. And that is simple. And like you said, grocery store tulips, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm going to put up one more time. I'm going to put up her website. Amber, your website is, can you walk us through it a little bit? It's Inspiring Time.
Sure. So Inspiring Time, when I was trying to figure out what in the world I wanted to give back to the world, Inspiring Time really grabbed my attention and my heart. It is a blog about all things. We cover all things children, hospitality. See, there's the tulips that I did from last week, actually.
There you go.
So that was a wind down Wednesday from last week. And I really wanted to show that hospitality isn't all about pomp and circumstance. I love pomp and circumstance, but seriously, you can take a stemless wine glass, create your own special cocktail, hand it to somebody when they walk in their door, and they feel like $1 million. And that's, to me, what makes our house so fun and welcoming is those little touches, and anybody can do those.
Yeah.
So all things hospitality, there's man cave on there. So if your husband likes to, my husband jokingly calls his, it's like Sunday escapades with the barbecue, his Dead Animal Chronicles.
Yes.
Love it.
Love that. Dead Animal Chronicles. That is awesome. I also want to say that Nikki and Ashley and Kat all say hello. They love what you're doing. The flowers are so beautiful. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to share your gifts with us, your knowledge, giving everyone a little bit of insight into what you do, giving them a little bit of inspiration to be, like you said, hospitality is beautiful. It is wonderful to welcome, and especially in this COVID time when we've all been away from each other. We feel like we're so distant. Right now, I feel close to you and like, okay, we're there. I'm not really at her house, but I feel like I'm part of this moment. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me. I've been so excited, hence my frantic please, I want to play.
Yay. Guys, again, if you've got any questions, and Kat says, one of my favorite blogs and podcasts. So that is so awesome. Thank you, Kat. We will share it. We will ask everyone. I'll ask you right now. Please take a moment and go follow Inspiring Time on Facebook. Do you also have an Instagram as well?
Yes.
So make sure that you're following both. That is one of the best things that we can do to help support fellow women, but entrepreneurs as well. And it doesn't cost a thing. Let's all help each other. Follow, like, and share is one of the best things we can do for anyone's business or social media. So again, please, I encourage you all to do that. And again, thank you so much, Amber, for sharing this today.
When we can't be together, if you can design flowers at home and just feel like you've connected into nature, and at least you have that connection.
Yes.
To reset.
Yes. Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for that last little nugget, because that is true, to reset. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions for Amber, please drop them in the comments and we'll make sure to get an answer for you. Again, Amber, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll see you. Bye.